Welcome back. In this video, we are going to talk about another one of the important annotation of Spring project. Okay, and name of the annotation is ManyToMany. Let's first of all understand the meaning of ManyToMany. ManyToMany means whenever a parent-to-child relationship model class will keep a relationship between parent to child, and there are multiple relationships will be established, then we will call, or we can say that this type of relationship is many-to-many. For example, in all of the projects you have seen that I have used two model classes. One is coaching institute and another one that I have used is address. Okay, let's keep this one name as the coaching institute. And here this one I will keep it as address. Okay, now inside coaching institute there are multiple attributes there. For example, ID, fees, salary, maintenance, head of finance department, okay, and here two attributes are there, ID and location. Now we both know that coaching institute is parent and this one address is child. Now whenever we will establish a parent to child multiple relationship, then we will call this one is many-to-many relationship, parent to child relationship with a multiple relationship. Okay, now how we are going to establish a multiple relationship? To establish a multiple relationship, what I am going to do here, I am going to use another table, and this table will be divided into two parts. This one will be ID of the coaching institute and this one will be ID of address. This belongs to here and this ID will belong to this one. Whenever I will connect between them through that mapping section, I can connect. For example, let's say I have entered some data and this data ID is 1 is mapped to the location. Then these locations for here ID, let's say example is 1. ID is let's say 2, and both the location and ID is the coaching institute is that particular location which I have mentioned. Let's say location I will keep it as Jharkhand. Then with the help of this table, 1 is mapped with 2. Through that I can call this one, and like that we can call multiple. Now let's say that there are another coaching institute I have created, and in that coaching institute the ID will become as 2. ID will become as 3, not 2, my mistake. So ID will become as 3 and the location is Jharkhand. Then it will map like this. One coaching institute is mapped to Jharkhand. Now 3 ID coaching institute is mapped to Jharkhand. So this is how we can establish a relationship of many-to-many. And in this video, we are going to see both many-to-many unidirectional and many-to-many bidirectional. First of all, we are going to see many-to-many unidirectional. So let's go to our Spring project and see how we are going to do that. Now I have used my old application only, means in which I have shown you my previous example one-to-many and many-to-one work. So here what I will do, I am going to open model of coaching institute, and here I am going to remove at one-to-many implementation. Same thing I'm going to do with the address. Now let's go back to coaching institute. Here I'm going to add at many to many annotation. We are going to see all of it, create, read, update, delete. So I will give cascade equal to after that, you have seen the use of at join column. Now, if for the mapping, if you wanted to create a table, in that scenario, we are going to use another annotation at join table. See, at join column, what it will do, it will create the another separate column through which we can map the entities of two different tables. But when you will create a at join table annotation, at this time, what it will do, it will create a completely different table, and through that it will map the two different table. Okay, now at join table I have implemented. Now what I will do, inside name equal to here I am going to add join map coaching institute ID. Okay, here I have given coaching institute ID, but here I haven't changed the name. So I will give a custom name here at column. Here it should not be at column, it should be here also at join column. All right, so job is done. Now what we will do, we will go to our address side, and here in the address side this coaching suite, and here I have given column name address ID. So let's change here, give a custom name as address underscore. I'm pretty much sure nothing is remaining, so let the code reload. So right now nothing error came. So first of all, what we are going to do, we are going to open the H2 console and see how it works there. Okay, now you can see that here three tables got created: coaching details, institute address, and mapping table. The mapping table got created because in coaching institute model, if you will see, I have given a table name mapping table, and after that I have told the mapping table join these two columns. One is coaching institute ID, this one, and another one is address ID, which existed address model class. So it existed. Okay, now if I will open right now here, you can see that all the data is empty because I haven't added any data. So what we will do, first of all, we will go to the coaching institute control and remove the unnecessary data. Coaching institute underscore dot save, because here I have to save enter the data, right? So what I will do, first of all, I need to remove this data because I think we don't need this one. We will enter the data in a different way. Now you have seen that I have added some code here. This code will tell us to save the data in a table, and you can see that here I'm saving the data as an index 0, 1. So I've given only 2 index numbers so that it will save the list of two location number. Okay, let's save this one, and we will go to again open now our create details, localhost. Let's open our table, localhost 8080, total details empty. Now let's save some data here. First of all, let's 15,000. This one I'm going to create 25. Maintenance 4,000. Help finance department Aditya. Here two location came because I have if you remember, I have given in the JSP file two input file. One is this one, and another one is this one, as a 0 and 1 or two different, so that it will save in a list. Okay, now it will open. Here I'm going to add one is Jharkhand, another one is I'm going to add Orissa. Let's add details. Now both the details got added. Now let's go to our console and let's check the data. Now you can see that here in the mapping table, here it is given coaching institute ID 11, and here address ID is 23, and address ID 2 number is Jharkhand and 3 is Odisha. So and coaching institute ID is 1. So in one location 2 different ID is added, and so that through that we can understand this is how we can do multiple relationship between parent to child. Okay, now let's try to update some data here. Instead of Jharkhand, this one I'm going to give, let's say Tripura. Okay, and instead of 15,000, I'm going to increase salary, let's say 45,000. If I'm increasing salary, then also I have to increase fees. Fees I will say, let's say 70,000. Now let's add details. Now you can see that all the data got updated. Now if I will go here and I will run again, now you can see that data did not got removed in the institute address, but instead of that in the mapping table, the mapping pixel is completely changed. Now through that we can assume that the data is still exists in the institute address, but the mapping address changed, and now it is a mapping from 1 to 4 and 1 to 5. 1 to 4 and 1 to 5, it is mapping to the Tripura and Odisha. Okay, now let's try to delete some data here. I will delete this one. Let's run the screen again. Now you can see that whichever is mapped together is got deleted, but the data which is not connected to anything is still exist there. Okay, now This one is the one-to-one we have seen. Now we will see the access the same data from the address side. Now to access the data from other side, what we will do, we just have to go to the address.java, and here I have to add one more attribute. This one is typing the coaching institute, correct? But I will name something here, address. This attribute is added. Private should be in capital letter, right? Here also some mistake is there. Okay, now I have added one attribute. Now this attribute I will map through coaching institute. How? With the help of at ManyToMany annotation, and here I am going to write mapped by. Now this part of model class is done. Now what we will do, we will go back to our controller. Address controller. Now address controller only we wanted to see the details of all the file. So for that, what we will do, we will don't need anything else. So we are going to remove everything else except total details. So let's remove extra data here, and this one also we are going to remove. That now let's save it and go to address.jsp file. We are not saving anything, and anything else we are not doing. So and after that we will replace this code with. So you can see that in that table that 2 location code is repeated, correct? Enter some data here, 15,000. Now here 25, here 4, and here I'm going to remove some other name. I will keep as Gopal, and here I'm going to keep let's say Tamil Nadu, and here I'm going to keep Kerala. Okay, this data got saved. Now what we will do, we will just reload. Now if you will see that here, coaching institute, coaching details from the first table, it is only one time it's mapped to different. Now if we are calling from the address side, correct? So due to that, I have used only index 0, because if I will keep both as index 0 and 1, then the same data will get repeated. So that's why I'm accessing only one data from the coaching institute, and from the location all the data, because now we are accessing the data from other side, correct? So this part is done. Okay, now let's go to localhost, and here I'm going to call with the help of another site. Here some error is coming. What is that? Error com.org Java property exception property coaching not found. Okay, I think I know the mistake I have done here. Address.java address. Yeah, the mistake is I haven't created the setter getter. So let's create the setter, and the name of address should I will keep as coaching. I think that will be better, because that is the name only I kept it here, right? Coaching only. So let's go back here, and here I'm going to write alt shift as generate getter and setter. I think it's done. As per my knowledge, all the data will get deleted again. So let's save some data here again. 15,000. Here it will come, let's say 25,000 again. Let's say 4,000, and a finance department I will give this time Ganesh. Here Jharkhand only, and here I am going to give Odisha. Details got added. Now let's try to access the details from this side. Now you can see that I can access the details from Jharkhand from the address side also, and only one time accessing, but location is coming as a space differentiator. Why is it coming as a space differentiator delimiter? That's because if I will go to address.jsp file, here if you will see that table details, so every time it is rotating, so according to that it is appearing the details from there, correct? So we don't need this one, so let's remove this one data also. So table data here and table data here, so address location is iterating it here inside the TD group, and that's why it is coming as inside there, and rest of it came like that. But if I will add both the index at 0 and 1, then the same data of the coaching institute side will get repeated. Now in this video, what we have seen the use of ManyToMany and coaching institute and address with the help of a joint table, and table name of this joint table is mapping table I have kept. Now if I will go to about coaching institute .java, coaching institute.java, here what I have did, here I have created a table with the help of a joint table annotation, and after that join column I have used so that I can map two different IDs of the table. Through that we can interchange the data. And if this is for unidirectional, and for bidirectional I have went to address.java, and here I have added one more attribute, and in this attribute I just mapped my attribute coaching institute address, which is connected to this one, and through that I can access now my data from the other address side also. So this is the end of the video. Now in this video we have learned many things about ManyToMany, at ManyToMany annotation, at joint table, at join column, and many other things we have also seen. Okay, now in the next video again we are going to talk about another one of the important topic of Spring project. So stay tuned and keep watching ADHYAN channel, and if you are new to this channel, please like and subscribe and press the bell icon for the regularly updates. Thank you.